Hi friends! I hope you'll be able to see all the different birds. I don't know how close they'll come, but you can probably hear them. Anyway, I just am popping in to say hello and welcome. I have some news that I hope will be of interest to some of you. I'm just looking over there because I see some fox has dug up one of our daffodil bulbs. Foxy used to do it all the time. Anyway, I'll put that back in the ground later. And actually this news has a little bit to do with sort of the foxes and the wildlife in our area here at Wild Cottage in Ireland. We are in the hills of County Clare, which is on the west coast of Ireland. We're not too far from the sea, about 20 miles as the crow flies. But anyhow, and I know a lot of you have been enjoying bits and bobs that I share interspersed with the knitting about our life here of small holding, homesteading, whatever you want to call it, gardening, growing all our own vegetables and growing the natural dyes garden, etc. I made another channel and it is called, well, I suppose first off, you may have noticed that I've changed the name of this channel from Wild Cottage Ireland Knitting a Slow Life, which was awkward, to Wild Cottage Knitting. And for the moment, there's like Ireland in parentheses. Excuse me, I still have a bit of a tickle from being sick. So this channel is now going to be called Wild Cottage Knitting, which is where you're going to get all your knitting content and craftiness, and there'll probably be some snippets of other things. But I've added a new channel, which confusingly for the moment, for all of you that are like OGs or that it's going to be called Wild Cottage Ireland. And I think the handle part is Wild Cottage Ireland 2023, because I couldn't just get plain old Wild Cottage Ireland, probably because I already had it anyway. And then I made a third channel that's just a placeholder called Wild Cottage, because I didn't I'm scaring all the birds. They're coming over there, but then I'm coughing and scaring them away. So okay, so also I'm going to tell you about my finished object here in a moment. So what's going to be on the Wild Cottage Ireland channel, the new channel that has like 0 subscribers? Basically, it's where we're going to put more of our content about the nature, the wildlife, the gardening, maybe some cooking when we go out and about places here in Ireland, scenic places, maybe some historic places, when Tom builds things like that. And also, so it's going to be more of the life stuff. So what really spurred me for this is that the majority of people coming to this channel that you're on right now, which is now going to be called Wild Cottage Knitting, is for knitting. And I want to kind of keep it to that, and knitting and other crafts, as I add a few other crafts in there. But I also really enjoy sharing, and I know many of you also enjoy sharing sort of the more day-to-day stuff about living here in Ireland, creating like a homestead, the small holding for nature and all that. So on the new channel, which is called Wild Cottage Ireland, confusingly, for which I apologize, but I didn't want to lose the name, if you understand what I'm saying. So it's probably going to be a lot of vlog type content, and also sort of a long-term goal of mine is to do more of the really beautiful filming that you see, that's kind of just relaxing with no talking. I'd like to have that over there as well, but that's actually a lot of work a lot of times, to get that really nice. And so that may come there at some point. But like, we have so many things happening here, like the wild goats, that I want to share, and somehow it's just builds up, and then I get anxious because I want to share it, yet I can't fit it all in. with like the knitting stuff, and I feel like it's just overwhelming. So for ease of you that are interested in things like that and like all the birds, like I filmed just out the window, vlog style, a minute or two of the massive amount of birds that come when Tom feeds them first thing in the morning. And I know some of you, like, it's not the majority of you, I don't think, but some of you would like to see that. If I just stick it on that channel where you know that's what you're there for and you don't mind that it's kind of vlog style, I will feel just joyful in sharing that sort of stuff, because I think you will enjoy it. And hopefully I will do times when I just set up the camera and let it run and you can just see birds. And so on the Wild Cottage Ireland channel, you'll get more of, probably not daily, but you know, every couple of days, maybe little vlogs of 3 to 10 minutes or who knows, but just to pop in. I just think that maybe that's a good place to share those things. Yeah. So what I suppose I would say is, and I never say these things, but like, if you're interested in that, definitely go subscribe. Also, like, hit that notification bell. And also for this channel, if you're interested in that, because it will, then you'll get a notification that when I upload, I might go ahead and just do a newsletter every so often. Like, I'm not great with writing anymore, so it won't necessarily be like a chatty newsletter, but I'm not certain. I suppose is what I'd say is, if you're interested, let me know. It would be infrequent. Like, I would imagine at the most it would probably be once a month, maybe once every couple weeks. And it won't be very long, because even though I used to be a writer, probably because I used to be a writer, I have weird issues around writing and it can cause anxiety. And so sometimes I can write a fair bit and other times I can't at all. So sometimes the newsletter might just be saying, here's some videos that you might have missed, here's a photo or two, and like, you know, a couple sentences about something you might find interesting. And other times maybe it might be more chatty. But if you are interested in that, and I know some of you probably are, let me know. Like, if you are interested in that, please do comment if you would be interested in a newsletter. Would it be something that you are interested in more in the knitting and crafting content, the sort of wild cottagey content, or a mixture? So if you could let me know that, because then I could kind of gauge what folks are interested in and what way to skew it, because there's no way I'm going to write 2 separate newsletters. I don't think. So, but these are just some things I've been thinking about for a while. And so, yeah, if you are interested in the just sort of non-crafty related stuff, happening here at Wild Cottage in Ireland, please do go search for Wild Cottage Ireland channel. I'll link it below. Yeah, I better link it below because it's super confusing, for which I apologize, but I didn't want to not take some of the names and have somebody else take them and put up who knows what content, you know. So yeah, so I have a finished object. I finished it a wee while ago. It is a mohair and silk, so just held by itself, a lace weight. It's ranunculus, surprise, because that's become a comfort, easy knit for me. And I do want to say that I had a few people kind of commenting about, like, I love to knit the ranunculus, but when I look at the pattern, it's so confusing. I am the queen of having a hard time with knitting. It took me a long time to learn how to knit because of my eye and hand dominance is different, and I seriously really struggled. So, and this was the first jumper, the first sweater I ever knit, and like on my own. I knit a cardigan by a Carol Fellow workshop, which was brilliant, but this was the first thing I did on my own with the help of the group, Little Big Knits, on her Ravelry group, the Ranunculus Love Cow thread, which might be helpful for you as well. So I just took it step by step, and that would be what my suggestion would be. Just take it line by line. The pattern has support videos where she just shows you each stitch without talking. And I did not make the fancy cast on. I never have. I've made about 8 of these now, and I never make the fancy cast on. I just do long tail cast on. I do for the wider neck, which is about 60 stitches, and then I just go into, I think it's just going straight into the ribbing. And I always make some little mistakes, but the beauty of this pattern is really you can't see it. You can't really see the mistakes if you mess up a couple stitches. Like it's fine. And once you kind of get the rhythm of it, it's really fun. And then you're just having stockinette. I don't do ribbing on the sleeves or on the bottom because I don't like that. But anyhow, I just have on sweatpants. But this one I knit size 1, and I have about a 38-inch bust, just so you can gauge for yourself, I suppose. And it's got some positive ease, not loads. And I knit it on a 5.5 millimeter needle. I knit it about 13 inches long. Let me see. There we go. That's better for you. So, so obviously I just have sweatpants on, so it's not like the most super attractive, but it's really comfortable. I have like enormous, ginormous sweatpants on. So yeah, so this is it here. That's my, I just bound off. I did extra yarn over so it'd be light, so the bind off wouldn't be tight, but it ended up being kind of tight, but sure. Yeah, so it comes to, oh, and I'm just under 5'2". It comes to, so there's my belly button, and it comes probably just below it, probably right around to my hip bones. And I knit it that bit longer because I just wanted to make sure it covered my lower back. And yeah, but I'm actually thinking 12 inches might have been better. I sure will see, but that's the joy of it. It takes 1 skein of yarn for me. I use this lace weight. The colorway is called Christmas Tree. It's very beautiful. I put the name of the dyer here, and I just love it. I love it so much. And it's not up on, I haven't put this project on Ravelry yet. Just do that at some point. What else? I think that's everything for the moment. So I apologize for this scatty, really informal video, but I just wanted to give you all a quick update about the changes that are afoot. And so do let me know. Go over and subscribe to Wild Cottage Ireland channel if you're interested in the stuff that isn't necessarily crafty. And let me know if you would be interested in a little bit of a newsletter, whether that's just for the knitting and crafting or a combination of both. And it'll just help me gauge on whether it's something I should bother doing or not. Okay, friends, happy 2023. I hope it's being good to you. And if it's not, that it will get better. It will get better. Okay, with love from Wild Cottage.